So I'm a physiotherapist, and in this video I'm going to share with you 3 reflective lessons that I've learned over the last few years of working as a therapist. We're going to talk a little bit more about the emotional side of things and a little bit of resilience. First lesson that I'm going to share with you is the power of emotions. A lot of times the patients that we see, all of them have a lot of negative emotions and energy because of the nature of their condition or the injury that they're going through. There's often going to be a lot of lack of hope, a lot of frustration, anger. It's hard to tell them to don't give up because it's so hypocritical. Because if we were placed in their similar situation, most of the time we would also give up, and so it's very easy to say don't give up. But the more important thing that has to happen in this journey is that they really have to feel this negativity for the time being. They have to do 2 things. First is they have to feel that negativity, and the second thing is that they also have to have a little ounce of hope that things will get better. They have to have this hope, because if not, they will not move forward from their negativity. And this is where people like family members, therapists, or healthcare workers come into the picture, because we have seen so many people who have recovered or in their recovery journey. We actually have like a future plan for this group of people who are feeling negative, and if you're able to just spark their hope on, or just kind of like switch on the engine for a short period of time, then that motivation will just keep them going. So that is how patients can overcome negativity. And how to do this in your daily life, even as a reflection for myself, is that when there are negative emotions, I think the best thing to do is actually feel it, and also have the hope that this is not the end and this is not how it's going to end. The second reflective lesson that I have is valuing our health as it is right now. On a day-to-day basis and on a patient-to-patient basis, almost everyone will tell me about their good old days and how they wish that they can return to their good old days. So most of the time when I listen to these conversations, it just brings me back to where I am right now. For myself, I am 30 years old, and I also try my best to be active and do exercises weekly. But just looking at a fast forward point of view, that means like looking forward to my future, and as an older adult myself, how would I be? It just tells me that whatever your health situation is right now in this moment, be it good, be it not so good, just appreciate it for where it is right now. And if it's possible, look at improving it for at least about 5 to 10% in the next few months or weeks ahead. If it's not possible to improve, then look at how you can actually just maintain it rather than letting it go down further. Because the most important thing, as cliche as it sounds, is really your health, because that is what gives you all the benefits of living a life. The last reflective lesson is your own motivation and mindset is always going to outperform that of others. This is very important because a lot of times when a patient is being very optimistic, they may be classified as being delusional or being too hopeful at the return of some function that they are expecting. And most of the time, this includes myself as well as a healthcare worker, we try to bring them back to reality and tell them that this is what reality is going to be like and how recovery is going to be like. But there are some patients who I have had the privilege to observe that they just stick to their determined outcome. That means they just stick to what they want and they do not stop at all, no matter what healthcare workers tell them. And to my surprise, some of these patients have actually achieved what they actually want to achieve. And when I see that happening, I just question myself, what could I have done better for patients like this? And this time and time again over the years has happened a few times, and I just realized that yes, although you can have evidence in medicine and evidence from your research papers to tell that some patients will just achieve this, nothing is set in stone, because it really depends on how creative and how resourceful and how motivated the individual is to want their recovery. So this also just tells me that really anything is possible. So these are the 3 big reflective lessons that I have learned and am continuing to learn as I continue to work as a physiotherapist. I hope that these lessons are not just applicable to patients but to anyone in life, because there's so much of wisdom behind all these lessons. And if you have been watching me or following me, then do consider checking out my other videos in this channel. And if you have a story to share, I'll be very grateful to actually hear and talk about it in the comment section below. So feel free to share your story and your lessons that you have learned. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.